So the peace, protection, and harmony class, there's a lot of facets to this one. On one level, that idea of protection, another way of saying protection is boundaries. People crossing over boundaries with you, you being able to establish good, healthy boundaries. And it would also be associated with protecting the light within, not diminishing the light, not being pulled into other people's chaos, other people's dramas, the things going on in the news, things of that nature. And so, on a deeper level, there's a thing associated with throat chakra, which would be dispersion, which is like disconnecting or separating things and to the point where there starts to be fragments in the ego. And this is tied to the aspects associated with soul retrieval, is making us whole. A lot of times the things that cause us anxiety, cause us discomfort, cause us to think in ways that are not normal for us, or have odd or weird feelings or things that we can't shake, are fragments in the ego. And this can be a byproduct of the energetic loops and the neurological loops in the body. It could be the influences from the environment. It could be the vagal tone and dysregulation in different systems in our body. And so a lot of this is tied to a deeper level, an activation of the heart, a deeper level and sense of well-being, and a deeper level of knowing who you are, and getting to that place where you're harvesting all the good works that you've done, and you're diminishing the negative potentials or the negative consequences of things that have happened, or how you've gotten pulled off of your path or your direction. And so, with this, it comes to also cardiovascular vagal tone and the dysregulation of the cardiovascular system. This is directly tied to a greater activation of the heart. It has a direct impact on clarity of the mind. It helps us to not get stuck in our emotions. It helps us not to get triggered, not to get stuck in other people's anger, or us getting triggered and being angry ourselves. It helps us not to generate the feelings or react to situations where we might feel abandoned or rejected. Um, it calms the instinctive responses that cause us to act in ways that aren't in alignment with our mind, our emotions, or our higher faculties. You could even say that types of brain fatigue, fuzzy thinking, are tied to vagal tone. It can be endocrine function, it could be all kinds of things, but the physical heart directly impacts the brain. If there's a issue in the heart, there's an issue in the brain. If the heart is stressed and not functioning properly, then the brain is not functioning properly. Just like if the heart chakra is not functioning properly, the crown chakra is not functioning properly. So this has physical ramifications, emotional, mental ramifications, and spiritual ramifications. And so the idea of harmony is not just harmony with the environment, is harmony within ourselves, harmony between the different systems in the body, harmony between the fight flight mechanisms in our body and the rest and repair, harmony between the higher nature and the lower nature, harmony with the things of our past and our history and who we are now. Like, all of this is tied to a kind of harmony. And if you look at the idea of Venus, Venus is, after you've made all these efforts, it's where you come to. It's like you're getting the fruits of your labor. And if in that process we're not in a good place, the fruits of our labor will be diminished, or we harvest things that are not good for us. We end up suffering a little bit. We end up not feeling good about ourselves. We end up not producing the kind of results we want in our lives. So anytime you work on the heart, you're also deepening the ability to materialize light. And another way of saying materializing light is you're dispersing disharmony, the tendency for disharmony. Not just like, oh, I don't feel good or I'm not in harmonious state, is when you work these aspects of vagal tone and dysregulation, you're increasing the potential for something. And even though you go through and you do the materialization process, there's still the limit of you're doing it to where your potential is. So this is about stretching your potential, right? And if we have the tendency to be drawn to things that are not in harmony, that are a kind of disharmony, you could say, like another way of saying chaos, right? If you're drawn to things that are chaotic, even though your mind, you think a particular way or you have this feeling, you still produce that chaotic result. Part of it is tied to this aspect of the heart. And so, how do we grab hold of the wheel and start guiding the ship to where we want it to go rather than just wherever the wind blows us? Right. And so this idea of diminishing the disharmony helps us to align with where we would like to go, where we're going, and with our higher faculties being the captain of the ship and not just the chaotic reactions that come from the things in our environment or our history, the conditioning from our history. So by going through and doing these processes, there's a deeper sense of well-being. There's a deeper sense of being able to produce the things that you want in your life and to feel good about it every step of the way, to think clearly, to have a good emotional like outlook and how you feel about yourself. And even if you're facing something difficult, to be able to process through that and still produce a good result, still be able to overcome that obstacle. And in the face of all the chaos, to be able to be non reactive and be able to still touch that peace, that inner stillness in the face of craziness all around us. So hopefully you can join us. Take care.